I love clever tip videos, as long as they don't call them hacks. I hate when people call tips hacks. But we all know the internet is full of garbage masquerading as useful information. So I'm going to come right out and admit that every tip in this video is going to be terrible. But that's sort of the point. We're just going to have a little fun here on a Friday afternoon looking at some of the worst tips I have ever seen for blue painter's tape. Now, the internet is full of blue painter's tape trick videos, and some of them are so ridiculous you have to wonder if they were intended to be taken seriously at all. But all of these are from real videos offering tips that were presented as useful. So I suppose you're going to have to decide for yourself if you're being trolled. This tip makes sense at first. I mean, why not communicate with your family through little bits of ugly blue tape all over your house? But if you're trying to save money on Post-it notes, consider this. 3 60-yard rolls of generic 1.5" blue tape on Amazon are $13. That's about as cheap as you can get. Now, if you use that sparingly by making your labels no longer than 2 inches wide, you're going to get 3,240 labels out of those 3 rolls at a net cost of 4/10 of a penny each. Now, that happens to be pretty much exactly the same price per label for this 3,600 pack of generic 1.5" by 2" Post-it notes. So you're not saving anything by using tape. But here's where it gets a little weird. And I've seen this in 2 separate blue tape videos. The suggestion is to use tape to leave a note near the door where you'll see it where you leave, and then peel it off and stick it to your body so you don't forget. Now, it is true that the full adhesive backing of blue tape will cling to you better than that partial strip of adhesive on a Post-it note. But do you really want to walk into a store with your grocery list taped to your shirt, basically telling everybody in there that your spouse thinks you're an idiot? This one is closely related to the last one. If you're going to be sticking blue tape labels all over the house, you need somewhere to keep your Sharpie. So why not use the tape to make a handy holder that probably will hold it there on the wall for at least 10 minutes before it falls off? Of course, that only keeps the pen handy. What about the roll of tape? This is another one I've seen in multiple videos. The idea is to make a little catcher for the drywall dust when you drill a hole in the wall. Now, it works to some extent. It catches most of it, and you have to be really careful not to dump any of the dust when you peel it off. Either way, when I tried it, I still had to get out the vacuum to get the little bits that eluded the tape. But do you know what works a lot better? The vacuum. I've seen plenty of contractors do this, but honestly, I have yet to see a single pro use that tape trick. I don't know, maybe I'm being too dismissive of this one. If you think so, let me know in the comments below. While we're talking about cleaning up dust, don't you hate it when you can't get that last little bit of dust off the floor and over the edge of the dustpan? Some folks suggest taping the dustpan to the floor to hold it in place and to create a better ramp to get the dust in. This one does work. But if your floor is dusty, as it tends to be right next to the pile you just swept up, or your dustpan is dirty because it's a dustpan, the tape isn't going to stick very well to it or for very long. Honestly, if I'm going to go to all that effort, I'm just bringing in the vacuum to clean it up. Now, if you're on the fence about the legitimacy of the last couple, I assure you that this one is as dumb as it gets, but it was an actual tip from a video I saw. Are you tired of your phone sliding around in the car? All you need is a little blue tape, and you can have a cell phone holder anywhere you need it. Everyone knows your vacuum cleaner isn't getting everything off the carpet and rugs, especially if you have pets. So one video suggested going over your carpet and rugs with blue tape just to be sure you got everything. Now, my response, of course, is if I can't see it on the rug, and sometimes even when I can, I have no problem telling myself it's not there. But another cleaning nut took it even further by showing how an obsessive-compulsive cleaner with nothing but time and tape on their hands can clean their countertops. One even suggested blue tape for cleaning the lint filter in your clothes dryer. Do you have little ones that like to put their fingers in the electrical outlets? I say, let them get a good shock, that's how they learn. But one responsible tipster observed that her 1-year-old knew how to remove those plastic child protectors from the outlets. So she suggested ditching those and instead covering all the outlets with pieces of blue tape. Not only does it look great, but there's no way a child could figure out how to peel this off. My own addition to this idea is that you can use it as a way to teach the little one to read. Again, these are real tips from real videos that I found online, and this last one sort of sums them all up. If you like the look of blue tape so much that you put it on your doors, your walls, your outlets, your car, and on your body, you're going to love this bright idea. Don't you hate it when you're having your friends over for a fancy dinner party and people get their wine glasses mixed up? Well, they make these little charms and other fancy accoutrements for this purpose, but why not just use painter's tape? Now I know what you're thinking. What if your friends aren't the fancy wine glass type? Well, don't worry, you can use the same tip to write your name on a solo cup. Ridge Carbide is the best kept secret in woodworking. Their saw blades are second to none, both in quality and performance, and they're less expensive than the other ultra premium brands. Do yourself a favor, use the link and the discount code below this video. You will never go back to cheap blades again.